Hey guys, this is Jason Sanders here. I just wanted to tell y'all a little bit about my life and kind of let you know who I am as a person. First of all, I grew up in a small town of Columbus, Georgia, and I grew up playing sports and really just enjoying sports and always being competitive. The first sport that I ever played was baseball, and I was really competitive. Wasn't that good, but I was really competitive. And then got a little bit older, got into playing soccer, and played. Again, I was average, but I was really competitive. Around the time 12, 13, started playing football. Football is really big in this area where I live, so I got into that. I started out playing on the offensive line because at 12 years old, and I was I was decent size, and just really learned what it really meant to be a team and to work as a team to achieve a goal. And I think that's really carried over into how I carry myself and how I do business in my profession, and also how I pretty much how I carry myself in my personal life in a way too, because you just got to always think of everything as giving 100%, because if you're not giving 100%, then you're discounting yourself in your relationship, in your job, whatever. Just keep going with the story. Around the time high school, again, like I was saying, middle school, I pretty much played several different positions all over the field, middle school, linebacker, all that. Once I got quicker, learned how to play football a little bit better. And then once I got to high school, went to a pretty big high school here in Columbus, and again, at that period in time, I was about 6 foot, probably about 160, 170 pounds. Wasn't that big, so I decided to get into field goal kicking. And at first I wasn't that great, but as the years progressed, I got better and better. And that's kind of the way you have to be in business. I mean, you got to devote the time to get better, to owning your craft and to practicing your craft, and just working and just constantly being in the lab every day. And that's the way I was with kicking. I would do the drills. I had the opportunity to meet NFL legend Ray Guy, as well as meet Matt Bryant at some camps, and they really made an impression on my life. I mean, they're a big part of who I am now, and big part of giving me the mindset that I have now. And I really credit a lot of my success and perseverance to them. But one of the biggest things that Ray Guy taught me, and he's considered one of the best punters of all time, is to never ever be happy with where you're at. Always own your craft and always be practicing. And that's kind of the way I've been too, as far as the way I am now in my sales profession. I never have got complacent, or I've never really settled or just became content with where I'm at. I mean, I'm still learning and growing, and that's the same way it was when I was a place kicker. I'm going to show y'all my ring right here in a little bit, fixing to move it in front of the camera so y'all can see it. I won this ring actually when I was in college, but we're getting a little bit far ahead of myself. So I'm going to just flash it real quick in front of the screen, and then I'm going to go in detail in another video about that. But this video will just be talking about my early life through high school, and then I'll have another video about the things I've learned in college and how that's helped me to get where I'm at and to develop as a person as well. So that'll be in the next video. But I'm fixing to show this ring in front of this camera. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, sorry, I can't do it right now. I'll have to just do that in take a picture or something and put it up for my profile picture or whatever for YouTube. But anyway, like I was saying, to succeed in any type of line of work, you have to be persistent, you have to be diligent, and you can never be happy with where you're at. So I went into high school, like I said, skinny, not really the most built to play football, and pretty much like I said, I got into kicking. I did for the first year play, still play a little bit of linebacker, but I was second team, so I decided why not, try something that not a lot of people are necessarily going to try or be interested in. So I tried place kicking, and by the time my junior year, I went to some camps in Troy State, and I started getting really, 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 really good at that point in time. I won some contests there, coffin corner contest. I actually beat out a former NFL punter, and that was pretty exciting. And I also won a place kicking contest there. The name of the camp was called Cedar Oglesby Camp. Y'all can look him up and verify anything that I'm talking about. I'm not just talking just to be talking and trying to hype myself up or lie to y'all. But he was an inspiration to my life too, because Cedric Oglesby is actually the first black kicker in the NFL, and he really taught me just a lot of key points about character and just hard work and just being patient and understanding that in order to be great, you have to put in the time and you have to be patient with yourself. So he really impacted my life too, and taught me a lot of great principles. The punter that worked with me at the camp was Thomas Olmstead, and he was cool too because his family actually founded Troy State, so he really was another impressionable person in my life. I met a former kicker, Seth Marler. I'm not sure if y'all have heard of him. He used to kick for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he really helped me out too on my place kicking skills. So just kind of fast forwarding a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going to go into college right now, but high school, played some, didn't get to play a whole lot, just because when I got to the high school there was already a kicker who had more experience than me, and he, of course, his leg was strong because he'd been kicking longer and he had been training longer and all that stuff. But I never gave up, and I kept trying and all that stuff, and just really made sure I hung out with the right people, because my goal was to go on and actually play college ball and get a ring like I have now. So I did that. Never drank, did any of that stuff in high school. Never smoked, did any of that kind of stuff. And went on to focus. I went to some camps. Met a guy named James Rafter in high school. He helped me out a lot in my different place kicking skills, and taught me pretty much what it takes to have the mindset of a champion. Helped out with his camp. One camp that I remember really well is camp when it was snowing and punting in that, and I remember Gordon Kelso actually punting and talking with Matt Bryan, and that really was an impressionable part of helping me become a strong, motivated, persistent person too. I'm going to wrap this video up and just tell y'all a little bit pretty much what happened after that. Started getting some calls in from different schools. Didn't get a whole lot of calls or whatever, but I sent my tape out, and probably end up putting that online too and later on my channel, but didn't get a whole lot of calls. Got a call from this school called North Carolina Wesleyan, a smaller school. They had won a championship the year actually before that I had graduated, and so I decided to go there and accept a partial scholarship to go there. I'm going to talk more about it in the next video. I look forward to y'all watching the next video and y'all subscribing to my channel. I hope y'all have a great day. Thank y'all.